All right, welcome back, Prospect Live viewers. We're back with another 2020 MLB Draft player profile. Joining me today, courtesy of perfectgame.org, is PG's National Scouting Supervisor, Brian Sikowski. We got a very exciting prep, another prep shortstop, another shortstop to cover. We've had a few of those already. This one's probably the biggest name in the class in terms of prep shortstops, that being Ed Howard out of Mount Carmel. If you're familiar with that high school, that's actually Alec Thomas's alma mater. Talk to me, Brian, a little bit about Ed Howard, because I know you've seen him. I have not had the pleasure of seeing Howard in first person.
Yeah, it stands out. You can see right there on the video we're watching, the body's great. The physicality stands out as far as an athletic, projectable, looks the type kind of build. He's a really, really good defender. He's one of the better prep infield defenders I've ever seen. Just in terms of how advanced he is, the timer and the instincts and that stuff stands out right away. And he's got the footwork, he's got the twitch, he's got the hands, the arm is good, all the ingredients to be a plus defender long term there. We really wanted to see him add some power this spring. That was kind of what we were waiting for. It's a good swing. It's pretty loose. He's got bat speed. He's shown bat to ball skills. He's shown an approach. It's just we're waiting to see him really, really drive the ball. And there were reports coming out over the course of the winter that he added significant strength, and he was really hitting the crap out of the ball in preseason stuff. And he was going to be at NHSI, which is obviously one of the more heavily scouted events in the spring. And it had a chance to be a huge spring for him. And I've said this in mock drafts before this year is I think he might be the guy you point to the most as to who got screwed by the shutdown. Because if that guy comes out and he hits for more power and he's checking those boxes and it still looks like a shortstop, but now it looks like a shortstop with juice, then you're talking about him as a slam dunk, the first prep shortstop off the board, and maybe going even ahead of some of those left-handed hitting outfielders.
Yeah, which is interesting. With that being said, I've seen him all over the board. I actually have seen him actually drop quite a bit from the beginning of the winter, some early mocks where you might have even seen him as high as like 10, 11, 12, 13. Mm-hmm. Where do you think he goes now? Is he still a possibility that early, or do you think it's slipping more to like the late first, a team that maybe has 3 picks like the Royals, somebody like that?
Yeah,
bunch him up or pair him with some of that monies that they can chain together.
Yeah, I think it's more likely the kind of like that back half of the first right now. I think that there's several potential spots for him there. Like a lot of teams make sense in that range. Yeah. Like I think the Rays make sense there at like 24. I think Cleveland makes sense at 23. You can go up and down the board as far as places that fit. It's going to be really, really interesting to see which prep shortstop is taken first. Is it Tucker? Is it Wynn, who might be a pitcher, or is it Ed Howard? And I think coming into the year, universally, people would have said Howard. But now, given that he didn't get the chance to play, he didn't get the chance to show what Tucker did or show what Wynn did. That's kind of maybe what's dropping him. But you got to remember that, he hasn't done anything to negate his value. He hasn't done anything to lower his stock. He just didn't have the opportunity to raise it. So he may still be viewed by some teams in that higher end range, like you talked about. It's just kind of a industry-wide, industry consensus kind of thing that he's slipping a little bit.
I know this is a tough question to answer, but any signability concerns with Howard?
I mean, not that I'm aware of. I don't know his signing number, but yeah, I'm expecting him to be drafted and signed.
There we go. Ed Howard, very interesting prep shortstop to pay attention to. That was his 2020 MLB Draft player profile. Brian, thanks for joining me, and everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in on draft night. We're going pick by pick throughout the first round and a competitive balance round A.